To share this video, a couple clips, one from Stephen A. Smith and the other from Shannon Sharpe. They are addressing Brett Favre, and I wanted to share that because oftentimes we go hard on Stephen A. because he doesn't have any smoke for white players when they mess up or do something criminal, and he goes all the way in on black players when they mess up and get caught up. So I wanted to share it and let you guys hear it, and I will share my thoughts after this clip with Stephen A.
My brother Shannon Sharpe calling this out the way that he did yesterday, because I'll be damned if I wasn't going to do it today. I didn't even know about it. I wasn't paying any attention to it, and then all of a sudden I see this stuff coming up. I couldn't have been more appalled.
So Stephen A. said he didn't know about this scandal that's been out for a while now, at least a week. And I think I saw something about it weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But he claims he didn't know anything about it and he was going to do the story. Just so happened Shannon Sharpe jumped out there and highlighted the story. Now, see, my belief, Shannon Sharpe had the balls to go ahead and do it. And when he didn't get backlash and he was getting a lot of praise for it, then Stephen A. wants to jump out and piggyback and act like, oh, he would have done it, but he didn't know. No, he let somebody else break the story and let the test the temperature of the water to see, okay, it's cool, there's no problems. All right, well, let me go ahead and get my take on it. But I see you, Stephen A., but let's keep it going.
Let's put this in its proper perspective. The golden boy, Brett Favre. I mean, remember him, Molly? Oh, look at him jumping to the arms of his offensive lineman. Oh, look at him falling down and flipping the ball underhanded. He's the little kids in him. The game never leaves him. And everybody's applauding. Here you are in the state of Mississippi, involved in a scandal where you're bleeding money from potential welfare recipients. People who are poor and impoverished and struggling for every nickel and dime they have, scratching and clawing to eat, to have a roof over their head, to have clothes on their back, as recently to have water. This man is involved in a scandal where money is being taken from them. This is bad. Now, there was a point where he owed $1.1 million, and he's caught via text messages asking for help to get him out of that jam. You got an additional $5 million that was thrown into the university for a volleyball court. Oh, by the way, his daughter was a member of the volleyball team. So there's some nepotism there in terms of favor. You involved, you got connections with the governor of the state. And because of that, you bled perks that ultimately facilitated you having millions of dollars in your pocket at this point, allegedly. But nevertheless, it's been talked about by the Washington Post. It's been talked about by numerous news organizations throughout this country. He is in the throes of all of this, and none of us have said a word.
Okay, well, you know, nevertheless, Stephen A. did go ahead and go in on Brett Favre, as he should, because all the information that we have shows that Brett Favre knew where this money came from, and he chose to take the millions and have them donated. I know he took the 1.1 allegedly directly for some speaking engagements that he never did. And then additional millions went into the stadium that for the school, the volleyball stadium that his daughter was going to, and she was going to also be playing volleyball. So he was part of the procurement of these welfare funds that was supposed to be used for, I think it's called TANF. And TANF is Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, and that went to the University of Southern Mississippi Athletic Foundation. And the woman that was over it that really created the scheme, allegedly, she actually pled guilty. Her and her son pled guilty to multiple charges, including bribery, wire fraud, and that was part of a plea agreement. She hasn't been sentenced at this time, but now I want to share a clip under fair use guidelines of Shannon Sharpe going off on Undisputed.
Yet they walk right past it like Brett Farve did nothing.
That is true. I give you that.
The problem that I have with this situation, you got to be a sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low. Skip, Mississippi is the poorest state in our country. Its citizens. So if they're the poorest state, Brett Farve is taken from the underserved. You made $100+ million in the NFL. And they talk about, well, he didn't know. This is what Brett Farve takes. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? So if you gotta ask this question, is there any way the media can find out? You already know you're doing something wrong. The mere fact that you don't want anybody to know. So you know you're doing something wrong. And Skip, he wanted to seem so philanthropic. He wanted to change the perception of the narrative. He take money for some damn volleyball arena.
Shout out to Shannon Sharpe. I like the passion. I love it. I'm glad he brought this story to life on Undisputed, and it made way for other people to start talking about it. And it needs to be discussed because currently Jackson, Mississippi is undergoing a water crisis, and they have repaired it, but it's only a matter of time, per the governor, that it's going to break again. So they need money in order to fix the pipes and all of that, the water filtration system and all of that. And meanwhile, we have one of the richest white athletes taking millions from the program to get a volleyball court, a volleyball gym built that his daughter's going to. Come on, man. Yeah, it needs to be called out. It needs to be blasted everywhere like they do when black players get caught with weed or any other substance, or something bad happens with black players and it's plastered everywhere. And I'm glad that they're speaking about it, and I hope they continue to. I just wanted to share it as well and beat the drum so this can be a topic of conversation, because it's not being broadcast as much as it should. So I just wanted to share it. But until next time, make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, peace.